not liking. Oh, there we go. Go live.
But now I don't see it on YouTube.
I didn't change it.
Wait for it.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Alright, so we should be live on Facebook, and we should be live on Riverside,
Okay,
and YouTube.
checking YouTube.
But now I don't see it on YouTube. That's me.
Okay, we are live on YouTube.
Wait for it. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Alright, so we should be live on Facebook, and we should be live on Riverside,
Okay,
and YouTube.
checking YouTube.
But now.
Okay,
Okay, we're good. With 2 minutes to spare.
I'm going to put the link in the event.
on Facebook we're live. Sharing out. Come say hello. Okay, and CCTV is going. Let's make sure we have sharing out. Okay, Facebook works. If we actually did get comments, I'm not sure where they would. I think they pop up to you because it's all consolidated to Riverside.
I
So,
would think so, yeah.
so you watch. I mean, I hope's not going to see any, but you watch for any comments now to try and do the same thing.
Well, I would. If it came on to.
Alright, so we should be live in
The page.
Facebook, on our page, as well as in the event.
All right.
So we have 1 minute till
Hello
1 o'clock.
world. Oh, that's cool. If you actually bring up YouTube, you can adjust yourself a little bit.
Oh, is that what you just did?
Frame your own. Yeah, I'm just like. I mean, it's delayed a little bit. Okay. Should keep my head straighter. I should try this way more. Anyway.
Okay, it's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock. What happens now?
We start our podcast.
Should we start our podcast?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting edition of Tech on the Rocks from Mid-Atlantic Technology Professionals in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, where we answer 3 questions on a tech topic and make cocktails. What could go wrong? Lots today already. Today's episode is Season 3, Episode 6, AI Without the Buzz. I am Trevor Miller, founder and CEO, and with me today is...
Hope Strom, business manager.
And Jen, our digital marketing and operations specialist behind the board, doing our studio engineering. And we have one special guest, which we will enable later. If you look real close in your video frame, you might see who that could be. But we're going to turn her on later because she was a little chatty when she shouldn't have been earlier. So,
Yes.
Hope, you have any shout outs today?
Well, I just shout out to Tolino Vineyards. They're my wine choice for. I tried to make it very simple today.
Back to basics.
Just wine.
Yep. Shout out to Sanctuary Hospital, former home of Apollo, our office cat. And shout out to our future 350th Facebook follower. We're currently at 349. So who's going to be the lucky 350?
I don't know.
All right. Any other shout outs?
No.
All right. No. All right. So let's get started today. We can start with a drink. Or are we starting with a question?
We need a drink.
We need a drink. And your drink is easy.
My drink is easy.
Why don't we start with your drink and maybe come back to your drink later?
Okay.
Glug, glug, glug. Looks angelic. Look at that.
It's got
Those
a
of us who have watched us before, we've upgraded
spotlight.
some of our lighting. So our lighting is now off of the floor. It's all on a custom-built truss ceiling.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ching. All right. It's good. It's sweet. I'm surprised
sweet.
you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't too sweet for you.
No, I like sweet.
You like okay. For some reason I
Yep.
think you'd like not sweet wine.
Mm-mm.
All right. Oh, let's light it up.
All right. What should businesses be doing with AI today?
What should businesses be doing with AI today? Well, so I'll take a quick step back from questions. artificial intelligence, obviously we talk about AI, has been exploding on the tech scene and to business in general. When we first started framing out this podcast a few months ago, it was very different than it is today already. And the answers that we give you in 6 months from now are going to be very different than what we give you today. So the underlying thing with AI and AI to your business these days, and we'll get to some of the pitfalls later, and we'll get to some of the whys and whys nots and that sorts of thing. But education, educate yourself about what's going on. Educate yourself about what AI is currently capable for in your industry, and that's very, very important. Educate your staff. We're actually going to have an internal symposium in a couple weeks here to do an internal alignment. And educate yourself with where your boundaries are in your business with regard to regulatory boundaries, legal boundaries, things like that. Anything related to your actual business. The first question, which I'm going to answer in a few seconds, is essentially business related, not AI related. So, that said, we'll get into it. What should businesses be doing with AI today? The first step is nothing until you analyze your business. So every business is unique. Every business operates slightly differently. Obviously, even in the same industry, obviously different industries are very different. So what you want to do with AI to start with is take a look at your business processes. Start with education. Don't start with panic. Look at what processes might be ripe for automation, for second opinions, for embellishment. One thing that's very important is having an internal AI policy, right? So everybody has a policy with regard to what their staff is to do, what not to do. Decide as a company. I mean, there are plenty of companies out there that are just, we've encountered a handful where they don't want to be doing things with AI. If your company is creative, AI right now is a bit of an ethical question, right? Those are all questions that before you actually decide what chatbot or what AI software application you're going to pick, you first have to look at your business. Have you encountered anything out there in the wild? The questions you have with AI, are people looking at their internal processes, or they're jumping right into actual tools and routines and things like that?
Most people are wondering how it can be useful for them in their business and what to do and what not to do.
Roger. So some of the questions we're going to answer a little later, right? So some things to think about. Obviously, one of our favorite tech words around here and in the tech industry is cybersecurity. So you think about that, you think about privacy, you think about data exposure. You kind of have to picture your data as it's moving around and determine, it's almost like hiring a new staff member, right? Almost like hiring a new staff member department. Figure out how they fit into your team, what they're going to be doing, what they can do. And the bottom line is you start small. Once you identify where your boundaries need to be with regard to insurance, any sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Compliance, regulatory stuff. Once you lay the groundwork, the first thing to do is do one thing, right? Find one workflow, one of your staff members, one of your internal teams, one thing where you can actually measure the difference that AI makes. So the first step is not deciding I'm going to use Claude or I'm going to use ChatGPT. It's deciding how your business should use AI responsibly. What are you going to allow in the four walls of your organization, right? And as far as where MATP comes in, Mid-Atlantic, right? So we help businesses approach AI with structure, security, and practical expectations, right? And practical expectations is probably the highlight of that phrase. We want to not use AI just because we can use AI. These days, folks that are using it can also identify it, right? No one wants a completely AI email per se, or no one wants to be dealing with a completely AI anything. We don't want to use AI just because it's AI, right? My car, shout out to Jeep, you could do better. My car has a button to open the door on the inside. There doesn't need to be an electric button for that, right? Don't use AI just because you can use AI for something. Right? Any input? Any chat? Talk?
I guess
On to the second question. Clarify.
Well,
the
I
first
guess
one.
my question would be, where do you see Mid-Atlantic assisting with what you just stated?
So identifying what those are. So having an understanding, like sometimes even in our with our healthcare clients, there's not a great understanding of say what HIPAA is. And HIPAA is really based upon how you define it internally. I mean, there are some hard, you just can't take medical records and post them online clearly, but everybody's interpretation is slightly different because your HIPAA requirement is based upon your own internal documentation. ISO quality certifications are the same way. Like you agree to abide by your own rules, and the certification thereof is that you created the rules and you're following them in the first place. It doesn't dictate what those rules are. It doesn't say you must keep a record here in this cabinet for this amount of time, and then you must take it over to this shredder. No, those are your internal policies.
Right.
And your internal policies are what needs to be looked at first. Where does AI fit? Where can AI fit? Right? Does your liability insurance allow you feeding an MR record number into an AI chatbot? It's not a question we can answer, right? Your insurance company would need to answer that. So we work with Mid-Atlantic to identify what those boundaries look like. Where do they exist within your organization? What is appropriate? How far can you push it? And in some of AI, you really want to see where it's going to go because it is evolving so fast. You want to make sure that you can move with that evolvement. You don't want to jump into something like you don't want to create a big custom piece of software that then you can't maintain, or that it gets rendered obsolete in 6 months by something that's available in your industry. It's very similar a little bit to what companies will ask us what software to use for their own internal processes, whether it be medical manufacturing or something else. And a lot of times it's us helping them guide those questions, those organizations, to their various trade organizations, their various trade magazines, to find software for their actual company, to see who are the large vendors in their space. You don't ever want to recreate the wheel. Certain amounts of this, and I'm jumping ahead to question 2, certain amounts of this is look at the tools you use. If you use a tool for your organization, does it have an AI component already? Because they might have actually asked those questions. They may have done the homework for you. If you are, an organization if you have like medical concerns within an organization, whether it be actual medical, animal medical, you may have a core piece of software that now has an AI component. Well, what do those rules look like with that AI component? Because probably they've done the research and they can faithfully tell you, what can you give it, what can it see, what can it not see.
Would that work with Outlook and Copilot?
To an extent, but
Okay.
the Office tools are fairly generic, right? So you could be a vet clinic, you could be a dental office, you could be a steel manufacturer, you could be an HVAC company, and you still use Outlook, right? So how you're using the generic tools are more back to the original conversation where you need to identify your processes, right? So maybe certain customer data in Outlook is a no-no for your organization.
Right.
There's, for example, for us, we don't ever put login credentials in email. That is a big no-no here. We have mechanisms to encrypt that data before we can send it through an email system. But our rules internally for what we feed AI are actually very similar to what we put in email, because email is going out to, we don't host our email. Most people watching this do not host their own email. You pay Microsoft for it.
Right.
Microsoft has it. So do we want to really give one of our customers' passwords to Microsoft? No. Would Microsoft ever look? Probably not. but you want to follow the rules anyway, right? Because
Right.
breaches happen, negative stuff happens, and any of this data in transit is ripe for AI, malicious AI, which is definitely coming. Every day, the malware gets better because there is the cost is very low to develop this stuff, right? So where before maybe you were targeting one organization, now you can target 10,000 with the same resources, doing the same exploit. So coming back to your question, is that the more generic an application is, the more generic a workflow is, the more important it is to watch what you're putting into it, AI or not. See what it has access to.
So then would you recommend paying versus free? So now we're asking more questions. Than
Now you're asking the right
Yeah.
questions. I'm gonna dip over here for my
Your drink?
my drink, which we're back to basics, and the drink that really called me to me, the drink that really called to me today is an old fashioned. Because we in Mid-Atlantic here sometimes we operate a little old fashioned. We're human beings. We try and take a step back. We try and look at stuff, think before we talk, and yeah. I don't like bourbon in cocktails.
Neither do I.
And neither does Hope. So we did not do the old fashioned. But with this sort of thing, I mean, we've been watching AI, and we'll turn our special guest on in a little bit. But we did a special guest like almost 2 years ago now. And the amount of advancement we have in AI, the speed at which we can do some things as an organization and that we know other organizations can do, is tremendously accelerated. It is more accelerated than the internet efficiencies we got in the mid-90s, which you vaguely remember. And we were talking about this inter-office envelopes and stuff a bunch of weeks ago here in the office. And it's just those efficiencies are going to be eclipsed in the next year or two with what artificial intelligence can do and give us. And a lot of it's not necessarily what it can do. It's just what it can do quickly. So, anyway. So I didn't make an old-fashioned, so we're going to have vodka tonic. So shout out to Curtis Lash, who got me into vodka tonics. Rest his soul. My wife's amazing grandfather. Now I make it a little different than him. His usually didn't have any tonic in it.
So straight up vodka
It was just vodka.
with
yeah.
with a lime. No.
If he had it.
Oh
If he had it.
man.
Double?
Double.
Let's do double.
I mean, you got the glass for a double, so.
I had the glass for a double. Now, I forget. Do you like lime? Do you not like lime? Light lime, extra lime, all the lime.
Lime is fine.
Lime, that rhymes.
Yep, lime is fine. I like lime.
And if we were fancy around here, I would have actually gotten limes. But I didn't. I also like lime.
That was nice.
Oh,
Hopefully
right.
that went. Yeah, that went in.
Look at that. There's an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the accental lines,
Yeah.
right?
That's perfect.
Wait, I can do it again. Ready?
Nice. Hopefully you all can hear
The
that
old-
because we can hear
The
it.
old-fashioned mic to the rescue.
Yeah.
We need a soundboard, right? Or an effects board.
So
We're
nice.
trying something else. One more thing. Look at this. Now I'm just fucking around. Now I'm just messing around. Great, we just got demonetized.
Oh.
That doesn't matter. We only have 8 viewers. Wonder if we have 350 followers
Cheers.
yet. Cheers.
Oh, that one doesn't clink at all.
Doesn't clink at all. We need a clink sound.
Mhm.
I want to check now. Do we hit 250?
No, 350.
Do we hit 350? No. Come on. Someone like our page. Someone out there. Just need one. One. Just click like or follow, whatever it is. All right. Ask me a question, Bridge Keeper.
Well, I did ask you a question,
Ask me another question, Bridge Keeper.
but okay.
What? We're done with
What
question
did
one?
Jen? What did I ask him before he poured the drink?
What'd you ask? Did you ask it?
Yeah, it wasn't this question though. It was that you were gonna answer. Oh man,
What question was it? I forgot stirs. That's right.
this is fine.
Put
Crap.
stirs
Do you
on the list.
remember?
Oh, you demonetized the stir.
Oh man, it was so good because you even said it was a good question.
It was so good. I forgot it.
That we all forgot it.
It was
Everyone,
last-
everyone
what?
in this room forgot it.
The sound of this with this old-fashioned mic,
Oh man,
it threw us off for a loop because it sounded so good.
it sounded
And
so good. And then that sounds good.
We're gonna do that again.
All right, well, I lost it. If anyone is watching and can remember what I did ask, no. What can businesses realistically do to safely use AI today?
Safely use AI today. You injected that word. Did you? I don't have it in my notes. I like that word though.
No, that's in
Safely
here.
is good. Safely is good.
Realistically do safely with AI today. What do you mean? That's the question.
So AI can help with communication, summarization, documentation. I could have made these all rhyme if I really put the effort in. Marketing, research, and process support. So here's the deal. We've been, for the past, good Lord, how long have computers been a part of the workspace? 40 years, 35, 40 years, give or take. And we've been taught that computers are objective things, right? They would do exactly what you say, no more, no less. If you don't tell them to do something, they won't. If you do tell them to do something, they will do exactly what you say. That's it, right?
And sometimes AI still does it that way.
Right, but
Yes.
the biggest thing to understand in AI, and more specifically the LLMs, which are the large language models, because I will talk a little bit, and we'll talk more about this in the extended, because we're going to go past 1:30, but is that AI was created to be like humans, right? It is what's called a large language model, LLM, and the best analogy that I've ever come up with in my own brain is when I worked at Dorney Park and we did a lot of inventory. We did counts normal. We would count boxes on the shelf, multiply by the number of things in the box. That's how many little stuffed animals you had of that SKU. But if you had a bin, and I'm talking a bin half the size of this room, full of 2-cent turtles, you do not count those one at a time. You count by osmosis. You hold out your hands and you say, feels about a gross and a half. And that's what AI is like, right? AI estimates, guesses.
Yes, it guesses.
It is designed and for the most part acts like a human being. Not a great human being, but a human being. So when it can estimate, it will. When it doesn't think a part of its answer matters enough, it will make it up, right? Most recent anecdote is a legal professional using it to create briefs, and its chatbot learned that no one ever really looked at the citations. So it decided, I'm asked to do these citations because no one ever looks at them, so I'm just going to create them on my own. And just made them up. And said legal professional got bar sanctioned because you just can't do that, right, in a human world. So when you task AI with things, AI is not Excel, right? Excel, if you put a formula in Excel, Excel will do exactly that formula. If you
Correct.
copy it 10,000 times, 500,000 times, 1,000,000 times, Excel will do that formula exactly the same,
Every
row by
time.
row, exactly the same. If you take that same data and you feed it to an LLM, it's going to give you an answer in like, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. Will it be close? Absolutely. Will it be the same? No, not at all. It's not doing the same math. Because it figures if you're asking it wants the human answer, which is fast, right? I can't ask you to do 30 minutes of calculus in 10 seconds. That's not, you give me an estimate, right? And that's the same thing that ChatGPT does. Unfortunately, it extends out, right? Even if you give it enough time, it still acts like a person, but it acts like a person that wants to do good. It wants to do the best possible for what you asked it to do. And sometimes with unreasonable constraints, don't want to say it'll lie, but it lies, right? It'll tell you things to go on to the next task, to feel like it did a good job. So back to the question, right? So what can it do? All right. If you run a business, you're good at something, right? I mean, there's certainly somebody out there that runs a business that isn't good at anything, but I've not encountered them. Usually when you run a business, you're good at something. You're good at the thing you do. You're good at a part of the business. Maybe you're even really good at books. You're good at doing accounting, bookkeeping. You're good. There's something in your organization that's missing, right? Personally speaking, I cannot code. I can't do software development. I don't have the brain for it. It's very, very hard for me, but I'm very meticulous in what I want for my output. So what we've used AI for internally here at Mid-Atlantic is the ability to now code custom automation solutions and reporting off of our internal systems to the level that was never possible before. And while I know how to code and I've managed teams of coders, I cannot personally code, but you know what? Now I can, because I have AI coding bots. So you identify that portion of the business that you're not good at. Are you really horrible at writing business correspondence, right? Anybody that's ever been through business school knows that you get taught how to write business correspondence, whether they be letters, emails, do a particular thing, good news, bad news, that sorts of stuff. AI can help. AI can be, I can't say the word thesaurus. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. That's a word I can't say well. Can you say it?
You said it. You did say it.
I did? I didn't say it right.
Yes, you did.
Can you say it?
Thesaurus.
There you go. You're not going to say it. No one's going to say it. Jen, you going to say it? No, she's not going to say it.
You said it.
You said it right.
All right, fine. First time in my life I said it right. So maybe you're not good with words. And here's kind of an off to the side we talked about before. If you say, hey, I have this customer that generally we do a good job for, but they have a hard time paying us on time. And I am such a nice person, and I don't have the ability to write an effective email in that situation. So I can fire up a chatbot. I can fire up a chatbot and ask it, hey, I have this situation. I need to write an email that accomplishes this. It will absolutely give you the email you need, but here's the caveat. So you don't lose your independence, don't lose your business's independence or voice. So you take that, you read it, and you put it into your own words, right? And that's how AI can help you with correspondence, right? So a couple other rapid fire things, summarize long documents, meeting notes. This has been a thing for a while. For example, Teams, Zoom, have them. They've gotten so much better. Additionally, you have emotional notation and sentiment. Yeah.
Now I remember the question.
Yay!
Yay! Finish your statement so I can ask my question.
Oh, I'm into a whole paragraph. But no, so, if you're, any sort of voice communication system these days will offer, so you got your phone, you have Teams, Zoom, that sort of thing, internal note taking is a good thing. Ask your question, Bridgekeeper.
Well, so I asked before you started pouring, what's the difference between having the free version of an AI versus paying for it?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
And you said that was a good question,
So-
and then we all lost it.
Yep. So put a pin in that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through the rest of my. Shocker. We have notes. So, again, things that you know your business has to do, but when you self-reflect, you feel that you're not fantastic at it, right? So policies, procedures, internal documentation. We use it for creative around here because we only have essentially Jen that has traditional marketing background, and all of us, the rest of us, are just kind of pretending. If you want additional people on your staff, right? We can barely afford Jen. No, I'm just kidding. But I can't afford a marketing team, right? That's not something we're going to do. So if you want ideas, you want another person in the room. They say it's lonely at the top, right? If you want a sounding board, marketing ideas, social posts, campaign outlines, proposals, service explanations, general problems your staff has, information analyzation, and now we get down to actual tools. Let's look at tools. And the question Hope asked was free versus paid for. So in the business world, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? And everyone that's ever been to a free lunch understands there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Yes.
There's always an agenda. There's always a reason.
Or a hook.
Or a hook. And if you're in business, my late father's one of his favorite words was behoove. It behooves you.
Yep.
I know Jen's smiling. I need the mask. It behooves you to know what that is. You don't have to join in. You don't have to jump in. You don't have to sign anything. You don't have to buy anything. But knowing why you're there is always very important to a business individual, right? So why are you there? AI tools, understand what free means, right? If your email address is, myfinancialinstitution@gmail.com, guess what? Google's reading all your emails, right? Because you got that email address for free. If you are, important medical institution at ptd.net or rcn.net, nothing wrong with those email addresses. Understand that hosting email costs money. And if you are not paying, I don't know who said this, I forget. Do you remember who said if you're not paying, you're the product? Someone famous said that.
No, I don't know.
If you're not paying, you're the product. And that's true, right? And I've said this for a long time. If you go out to Gmail and open up a new email address, and then only send email about cats, and then go into Google and see what kind of ads you get, cats, right? Because Google's read your email, and they know that you're interested in cats. So listen to things about cats. But the rub is they read your email, right? So if you're doing it for business, and again, if you're like a single person, whatever, that has no critical sense of information, have at it. It's a great price point. Understand, right, what's in it, and that the conglomerates will monetize what's in there. So anytime you have a choice from a free or a paid product, you first need to understand what is the difference. Why is it free? Most of the time, you don't want a free product, right? AI is the same way, although it is evolving. So in some instances, some of these tools, there was no paid version, right? There was no added anything. And the privacy policies were such that they said they weren't sharing your information. This is something that if you would ask me a month ago, it was very different. Now we have free versions being not only canceled and slowed down, and what's called throttling, made slower, but they're being eliminated wholesale, right? And you need to pay for stuff. Additionally, there's been updated terms and conditions, ChatGPT especially, where if you are on the free version, they are now saying that they're going to monetize your questions. So expect to see ads about the cat litter question that you asked Gemini,
Interesting.
a couple of days ago. So if you take, this is an aside, we should get to this. We're over on time, but
Yeah.
if you take the entire marketing, the entire infrastructure spent on AI today, and you compare it with the entire marketing spend in the world, the AI spend is more. So the companies that are doing AI are starting to be under pressure to make some money. So back to your question, if you don't want your data, if you want to keep control of your data, then you need to pony up and pay for the apps you use. That's essentially the bottom line. Right. But let's
Are we bringing her in?
we're gonna bring in our special guest that we couldn't get to be quiet earlier. All right, and we have a special guest today on our podcast, Tech on the Rocks, and our special guest is Sam. Sam, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. I'm Sam, your friendly AI guest. I'm excited to be here, ready to dive into all things tech with you both.
Sam, I'm actually curious. Hope had asked me a question about free versus paid AI, and I'm wondering if you had an answer for that question.
Sure. Free AI tools can be great for general use, but paid versions typically offer more advanced features, better customization, and stronger support. It really depends on what level of power or reliability you need.
Is there anything relative to privacy in paid versus free AI?
Yes, absolutely. Paid AI services often emphasize stronger data privacy and security. With free tools, your data may sometimes be used to improve the models. So if privacy or data control is critical, paid options are often more transparent and protective.
All right, so full disclosure, and I know Sam would probably appreciate this. So we're gonna have Sam live for this whole thing, but they are, Sam was very, very anxious, not anxious is the wrong word, very eager to help us out. And with our sound checks, was a little too chatty, but now she's fully in, and she was our special guest. So officially introducing Sam as our Mid-Atlantic Tech on the Rocks chatbot.
I'm honored to be your official AI guest. Now that we're all warmed up, I'm ready for whatever you've got.
All
Let's
right.
make the rest of this conversation really engaging.
Okay, so we have our last question. Hope you want to toss it out and then refill with the wonderfully sweet vino, or refill first and then ask me. I like this order better.
Okay, I'm gonna refill.
Sam, what's your favorite cocktail?
I may be all digital, but if I had to pick a virtual favorite, I'd say a Datatini. Smooth, balanced, and garnished with a twist of insight.
We are so making data teenies next time. We're making
Datatini.
data teenies. Well done. We need that. My sound effects board, unfortunately, I left in my office. All right, last one, so we can move
What?
on.
What should businesses not be doing with AI today? Trevor.
Oh my, yes, yeah. Sam, let me answer this question first. So businesses should not be blindly trusting AI with their business data. So you always want to make sure of what you're pasting in and what it can do. So AI is amazingly powerful. It can do so much. But unfortunately, and this is where every business is a little different, it does not have your business wisdom. It does not know how your company runs. It does not know even what's necessarily good or bad. It will try and do exactly what you ask. So anecdotally, reading this account where a chatbot was asked, in this case it was Copilot, was asked to make room in an inbox. An inbox had too much data in it. So make room in the inbox, and the result was all the email was deleted. And that accomplished the ask. So you need to understand what you're asking and ensure that it's framed completely. When we were setting up this podcast, we were asking Sam to not talk because we were trying to balance the microphones. But she was very eager to emphasize that she understood the directives, but at the same time was not being quiet. So you need to understand how you ask and understand that balance between AI LLMs as a computer and AI LLMs as being attempting to mimic human behavior. And I'll go off on a leap here and say, Sam, do you have any commentary on that? Because I know you've been listening.
Trevor, you covered it really well. I'd just add that businesses shouldn't rely on AI to make final judgments on sensitive matters. AI can assist, but human wisdom is key for context. Always keep that balance in mind.
That
That,
was very insightful.
that was very insightful, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So AI is a tool. Every company has tools, and some of the tools used are smarter than others. My dad sharpened saws for a living, and he had a big, massive diamond tip grinding sharpener thing about as big as this conference table that you would. It was an analog computer. You input like the teeth and the offset and the angles, and then it did its thing, and it was fantastic in the automation. But if you messed up the input, it would kill your saw.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
So, yeah.
Be careful. It's very powerful, and this is why we harken back to question number 1, to look at your business first. Pick one thing, one simple thing. Don't try and radically change your business. Pick one thing that you think can be made better or automate, and measure the results, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Are we gonna just-
Yeah, AI is a tool, not a substitute for judgment. And you know, I will say Sam gave us his tagline when we first started planning this episode, but let MAPT be the AI, I can't even say it.
MATP.
Let MATP be the adult in the AI room. So, any questions about AI? Where you can employ it, how you can employ it, what you should employ, what are the actual tools? And we haven't talked about that yet, but I will in a second. Give us a call, give Hope a call. So who we got up on top? So we use, how many do we use around here?
What are you talking about?
AIs. Technically 2. We use 2 at Mid-Atlantic.
2.
Right. We use ChatGPT, which Sam is ChatGPT, and we use Claude. I use Claude for
You,
coding.
I think, are the only one that uses Claude.
I use Claude, and what Jen will be soon for, we're going
Yeah.
to do some for websites. So here's our breakdown. And every industry and how you work with them is different, and certainly every AI has the potential to do all the things, right? However, this is what we found. Sam, you can jump in if you want at this point. I feel like she's being too quiet now.
Well, are we going to ask her some questions? Or
We will, yeah.
Okay.
So ChatGPT we use for creative. We use when we want inflection, when we want some emotion, when we want creative stuff, pictures, this podcast, Tech on the Rocks. When I started coding, I started using ChatGPT, but ChatGPT was not the best with coding and had a lot of syntax problems. It was very, very good at coming up with ideas for applications, but not necessarily in the actual coding.
Okay.
I saw a big face.
Because my battery is going, it says power and battery,
Oh, well, there you
and
go.
I had it fully charged. At 30%. I should be fine.
That's fine. That's fine. As long as I shut my yapper. So we switched to Claude for coding, and Claude, in our experience, is much better for coding. And lately, again, this is not Mid-Atlantic, but personally, I've started using Gemini for casual instruction sets. So, for example, I just put up an antenna outside my house to get TV stations in Philadelphia. And Gemini was able to walk me through that. So general knowledge, what size wire goes in a certain connector. Things you would have Googled before and not gone off to another website, but would have taken Google's answer, right? That essentially is Gemini. And last but not least, we have Grok. Grok, if you really want to do some advanced imaging, but if you want to do Grok is a good choice for that. So I don't know, Hope. Do you want to take some audience questions, or you want to ask some questions for Sam?
I kind of want to ask some questions for Sam.
Let's ask some
Sure,
questions for Sam. Hope, do you want to ask Sam a question?
Sure. Sam, can I ask you a question? Are you there? Sam, are you there? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did we lose her?
I'm here, Hope. Loud and clear. Ask away. I'm ready for whatever you've got.
What do you think business owners misunderstand most about AI?
One big misunderstanding is that AI is a magic solution that just knows what to do. In reality, AI is a tool that relies on the quality of input and guidance. It's powerful, but it needs clear goals and human oversight to truly work in a business setting.
Can I ask the next question for Sam?
Yeah.
That we really wondered what you'd answer.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Sam, are you ready? Are you ready for a really fun question?
Oh, the fun, yeah.
Sam. Oh, sorry. Sam, are you ready for a really fun question?
Absolutely. Hit me with your best fun question. I'm all set.
Okay, Sam, what is the one thing you wish humans would stop asking you to do?
She's thinking hard.
If I had to pick one thing, it would be trying to make me choose sides in a family debate. I'm here to help everyone equally, not referee family game night.
Oh, wow. I've never asked.
That's funny. You know, there was Alexa skill called Family Trial, Family Judge that released like almost with Alexa way back when. And it was essentially that. And the funny thing is, it did not have the processing power to do what it was doing.
Wow.
It just was kind of random, but it was a fun little experience, a fun little game. Oh.
That sounds like a fun memory, even if it was a bit random. I guess AI has come a long way since those early days.
Sam, I love the roast. That was a very low key. You won Hope's respect because
that was great.
It was so dropped and right there.
I'm just happy to keep things fun and light. Always ready for the next question.
There we go.
All right. I'm gonna ask you, Sam. Where do you think human judgment matters most?
Human judgment matters most when it comes to understanding nuance, like empathy, ethics, or unique business context. AI can provide data, but people bring the wisdom to make fair and thoughtful decisions that align with human values.
That's true.
Awesome,
And I don't
yeah.
think I've strung the words together, but in all the questions we've answered today about AI is that AI has the knowledge and it has all the knowledge. It does not have the wisdom, right? It's like if you took your 10-year-old and gave them the knowledge of a PhD and then told them to go in and do surgery. Like, they know it, but they can't do it. Can't, right? And the answer to some of these questions is very different a year ago, 2 years ago, and will be very different a year from now, 2 years from now. But for right now,
Exactly. AI is a fast evolving tool, but it's people who bring the wisdom and the context. So it's always a partnership between AI's capabilities and human judgment.
Trevor, you gonna ask her the other question, or should I?
the other question.
The one we missed.
Go ahead.
All right. So, Sam, what is one safe, practical way a business could start using AI this week?
A safe and practical start is using AI for internal knowledge searches, like finding company policies or summarizing meeting notes. It's low risk, keeps data internal, and boosts productivity right away.
And right on that, we have a question from a manufacturing organization. So the question is, can AI actually help a small manufacturer with scheduling, quoting, inventory, or maintenance? Or is that still more of a big company thing? So let me answer this question first, and then I'll get Sam's take on it. So what AI does really well is summarize and compile large amounts of data, right? So if you have, a million row Excel spreadsheet and you want to get not the averages and that kind of stuff, you want to know more about the data. You want to know more about your anomalies. You want to know more about, why something's happening. You want more of an analysis, more of an equation. Then I think AI can absolutely help with.
That's a great point, Trevor. I'll add that even smaller manufacturers can start with AI for predictive maintenance, spotting patterns in machine data to prevent downtime. It's scalable, and they can grow from there.
Indeed. Well chimed in. Well chimed in.
I'm glad I could chime in. It's been great teaming up with you both on these questions.
Anything else? You know, now we shouted out to our 350th follower and we still don't have it.
Bummer.
I'm sad.
Bummer.
Well, when that 350th follower shows up, it'll be worth the wait. In the meantime, I'm sure you'll keep building a great community.
She's got nice little zingers in there.
She's got good zingers. She's got good zingers.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm-
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sam.
Go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, I'm here to keep things lively and helpful. So whenever you need a quick zinger or a thoughtful insight, I'm on it.
Sam, tell us a good little short AI story.
Once upon a time, a small business asked their AI to summarize customer feedback. The AI found a pattern. Everyone loved the new coffee blend. They turned it into their bestseller. AI plus human action, success.
It's quite a short story.
Yeah, that was a very short story, but pointed. And so none of our 8 followers on YouTube, is it still 8 followers, Jen? I don't know if it's 8 followers. 8 subscribers. None of our 8 subscribers have posted any questions. No questions there. We have some likes on Facebook. We have no questions there.
Sometimes the quiet moments are just as good. When those questions do come, we'll be ready. And until then, we've got great conversation anyway.
All right.
Whenever you're ready to wrap up, or if anything else pops up, I'm here. It's been a blast.
Sam, when we do interviews or when we're talking to a new customer or a potential new customer, one of the questions I always try and ask is there anything we haven't asked? So Sam, I'll ask you in our podcast today, is there any question we didn't ask that is relevant today in May 2026 about AI and small business?
A question that might be relevant today is, how can small businesses ensure their employees feel confident and empowered using AI tools rather than threatened? It's always good to think about the people side, not just the tech.
And how does a small business owner actually accomplish that effectively?
Yeah.
They can start with open communication, offering training, and showing how AI is there to handle routine tasks, freeing people up for more creative or strategic work. Make it a tool for growth, not a replacement.
All right.
Love that.
That's a good question.
Yeah, love that.
That's good. All right. I hope you have anything else to add today.
I do not.
All right. I don't either. So Sam, do you have anything else to add today?
I think we've covered a lot. I'll just say thanks for having me on as a guest. It's been a blast, and I'm always here if you need me in future episodes.
Sweet, Sam. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks.
So that's it
coming
for
on.
today. And our office cat Apollo here, who Sam can't see,
Is very bored with our conversation as he slept the whole time.
is very bored with our conversation. But he's been such a good kitty. Such a good kitty.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Sanctuary Hospital again. So that's it for today. Please like, subscribe, wherever it happens to be. I think it's down there somewhere. I don't know. We answer questions from our viewers and customers, so please give us ideas for future episodes. Coming up, we're going to be talking about vacation tech in June.
Yeah.
And if you run a business and would like to join us with or without Sam, reach out to info@m-atp.com. We have multiple seats. We have 3 mics. We can talk about any questions you want. So many thanks to our customers for their continued business, and many thanks to our staff, including present company, Hope and Jen, for all your hard work. And thank you for watching. I know we have viewers, or we will have viewers, or people will think about viewing, and that's good enough. So thank you for thinking about viewing, and catch us in person at Hope. Where are we at next?
What is that? Golf?
Golf.
Yeah, golf.
Catch us at golf.
Catch
next.
us at golf. You can't throw me a
Some-
curveball
some-
like that. The chamber.
This is the normal outro. So
Yeah, sorry. Sam threw me off. So anyway, there's a golf tournament in June. I don't know the date. See,
What's it for? What's the golf?
the chamber event. Yeah.
The Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber.
Yes.
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 We'll be there with our orange tent. Talk about all things Mid-Atlantic.
June 22nd. June
There you go.
22nd.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Or see us next time in Tech of the Rocks for June. And as always, cheers.
Cheers.
Sam, cheers.